everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from where you're watching us from around the globe. It's such an amazing day that God has given us an opportunity to come to you again. And I want to say I'm very grateful for the support you have accorded us this far. Thank you for all the subscriptions. My goodness, you guys are just amazing. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for liking the videos, engaging. And it is on that note that every day we will just strive to bring you something that will build you and make sure we impact you. And I also want to say thank you, because by the virtue of this platform and what I am doing, I received an award early this month. It's called a Academic Global Life Award for people who use their God ideas to impact the society. And so as I use this God idea to impact the society, thank you for your support. And today is an amazing day. I am not alone in studio. I'm joined by my friend, an amazing friend of mine, a sister that we have met in the line of purpose. And I want to allow her to introduce herself before we get into the topic of the day, which is exciting and amazing. You guys are in for a treat. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Susan. I'm so happy to be here. Hi, guys. Happy to meet all of you. Like she said, we are friends. My name is Koki Warohio. I am a farmer extraordinaire. I'm in the export business of herbs and spices. And Sue and I fellowship together. And I'm also the founder of a program called God's Jewels. And you will be seeing more of me. I'm very excited to be here, and I trust you'll be blessed.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. So today I really have to match up with the energy in the studio. I'm used to being here alone. Today I'm not on the hot seat alone. And so today we have an amazing topic called behavior modeling. And even as I was engaging with my friend here, we realized that a lot of the things we are doing, a lot of the things that have made us who we are as women of God, as sisters, as friends, has been modeled to us either by school, family, society, media influence. And so I want us to get ready. Fasten your seat belts. Do you have your cup of coffee? I have mine, or juice, whatever it is. Please stay tuned, because this one you have not had like it before. So behavior modeling, Koki.
Yes.
What do you understand by behavior modeling? How has it been to you? How does it come out?
When I think about modeling, it's always what I've observed, imitated, and made a part of who I am. Mm-hmm. So when you think of, if it's the home space, mm-hmm. what did you observe your parents doing, or your caregivers, mm-hmm. whoever was the authority in your life, right? Mm-hmm. How they dressed, how they behaved in the home, how they spoke, Yeah. One of the things I'll tell you is that I'm in the children's ministry. I can tell people's mothers from the children. There are some children who have expressions like adults, So because we are curious, you're just like, is that the mother? Is that the house help? Is that, Because kids are picking up what you're doing, and they're imitating it because they feel like you're the example of what they want to be. So many times the environment you grow up in, even speech, the language that you speak, the way that you speak is really an expression of what you've been exposed to in the home space.
So as you're talking, I'm getting, it's more of observational learning.
Yes.
And I am a mother. Did I say that? For somebody who is new. The people who've been here know I am a mother. Of not 1, 2, 3, I am a mother of 7. I have young children, preteen, teenagers, Gen Zs are in my house, young adults, and I have all that. Yeah. And what you're saying is true, because a lot of the times, if not most of the times, our children learn a lot by observing us.
Oh, yes.
Would be busy encouraging them, guiding them, telling them what to do, but they're looking at what is mom doing, what is dad doing, as you're saying. And so, as you said, it starts with the home space, and then there's also school. Yes. Children take what the teacher has said as gospel truth. Even if you try to twist them, this is what I'm thinking, no, this is what teacher said.
Yes.
Yeah, teacher said.
Yeah.
So I think it's also a position of like status, a position in society. When somebody is probably a leader, could even be a spiritual leader.
Yes.
So long as you're a leader, whatever you're saying, teaching, that is what people are taking.
Yes.
And I came to realize that it can be two ways. Once I've observed, what matters whether I imitate or not is how the reinforcement can be negative or positive.
Yes.
You see, if people are rewarded for imitating, they'll be keen to pick up new behaviors. But if you are rebuked, if you are scolded and punished, then
you drop it there.
You drop it there and then. But we are living in a society where there's a lot of influence, even from social media.
Yes. Yes.
Social media, the things we watch, the music that is playing. I don't know whether you have experienced, now that you're in the children's ministry.
Yes.
Like but children will speak some things, act some ways, dress some ways, and probably looking at even their homes, probably that's not the way their homes are.
Yes.
But because I saw this advert, I saw this billboard, I want to be like, I don't know what you think about that.
My experience of that has been interesting. I actually have a relative who the kid watches TV a lot. The kid speaks with an accent. Because they pick a lot of, especially, I don't know if you're allowed to say this on these shows, but certain characters who are known, especially for teaching children's content, and they pick on that and it just becomes their norm. Like you're saying, social media. I feel like a lot of the Gen Zs, even the older generation, people in their 30s and their 40s, we were modeled how to dress by the shows that we watched. The wardrobe that you find a woman is choosing to wear when she's going into the workspace is because of the shows that she used to watch, which tells her the corporate, well put together woman dresses in a certain way, right? Sometimes, if you think about it, maybe our mothers didn't even dress like that. But because we saw it with these ladies on TV who are emulated as, the image of professionalism, the image of sophistication, the image of success. So when you start thinking of things like that, I'm like, I want that look. I don't want the frumpy. My mother wears long rindas and, like big sweaters with shoulder pads. We really stay away from that. We go with now what the society and entertainment is showing us. If you also think about the skimpily dressed girl sometimes, because she's been told that she gets attraction from the opposite sex. Not that, it wasn't modeled in her home or by her siblings or cousins, but it was just something she saw and she's like, I want that attention. Especially we as women, we know that what that means to us. When the boy chooses you versus me. You know what I mean? We know that feeling. We know that feeling. So if I notice that the girl who wears a small dress is the one who's getting attention, then I'll model that. Well. Yeah, a small dress, and you're like, if she can get attention, I want the same attention, But I feel like as a society and as women of Christ, we know that that's not the end game. The end game is about your values and your ethics. And I truly believe even that is modeled. It's modeled when I see a decent woman who saved herself and ends up having a very balanced life. And that's what we need to showcase more. When you and I come and do a show like this and we sit and we talk like this, it's because we're trying to show sisters can support each other. Right?
Yes.
Sisters can go far together. Sisters can be decent and have a decent message and have decent conversation. That's not about, the other things. We all know what the other things are. We don't have sex tips for you guys, by the way. No, we don't. But we're not against sex. We're just saying, there can be clean content, right, out there. And this is an example of us modeling what that can look like.
It's amazing you mentioned about like us here. And if there's one thing I think I've only been in Rock for a year now. And if there's one thing I have learned from our pastor, Reverend Julian, is collaboration, what we are doing now.
Oh, wow.
So there's a way collaboration has been modeled to me. So today I don't feel insecure if I need to collaborate with somebody.
Fantastic.
Because God's Jewel and my Claim Your Crown. Did they say I'm the founder of Claim Your Crown? You guys know, right? But for anybody that is new, Claim Your Crown is a program that I run mentorships for moms parenting alone, that is Silver Moms. We also do a lot of self-awareness and emotional wellness coaching so that you can be whole. As a woman, you can be whole and show up in any situation. So back to collaboration. It has been modeled to me. That it is an avenue of growth, because what you can do, Koki, what you can offer, I cannot. True. And so if all I do, I'll come here and I'm doing content creation and it's all my vibe, but I know that even my viewers will not be having a balanced diet.
That's true.
So because collaboration has been modeled to me, I have embraced it, and I am well secure to know we have more value working together.
Yes.
We have more value supporting each other. And so, as you say, it's not all gloom. There is positive values that we have seen modeled. There is a positive vibe we have had, because even especially in parenting, because I'm in that space, I think most of the hours in my day. When children look at you, there are things they pick from how, we are raising very brilliant children. My daughter will come and tell me, Mom, why are you not smiling? Are you not happy? Is everything okay? I'm thinking, goodness.
Yeah.
Where do I, even if I'm not happy, where am I starting?
Yeah.
But they observe a lot. We are in technology generation.
Yeah.
If your child is talking to you and you're just telling, Mom, put your phone down, because this is competing. So they see a lot of the things we do, and if you're not fast to pick it, tomorrow they'll be the ones doing the same things.
Yes.
And maybe I'll ask her, why did you do that? But Mom, even me, when I call you, you don't. I'm like, my goodness.
They do what they see you doing, not what you tell them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they learn a lot from observation. So what I think we have a very important role to model what we want to see in our children. To model, not just telling them, oh, you should do this. You cannot be, they say, preaching water and taking wine.
Yes.
Not in this generation.
Yeah, you can't.
If it worked before, it can't work now.
With these ones. No, it can't.
It can't work with this one, because they are very alert. And also they are growing in a society where social media, technology, everything is just staring at them. Information is on YouTube.
Yes.
Yes. And they could just be there watching Superbook. And as soon as Superbook ends, a funny ad pops up or something. So if we have modeled the right values, even with that, they'll be able to skip and move to what they were watching before.
True.
If we model the right values, even if they see other children talking some way, they will know, in our home we do not talk like that. Yeah, as we do not do those things in our home. And so the modeling we do will even help them to be better leaders tomorrow and to be good examples. True. And so I believe it's such a sacred order.
It is. And allow me to say this, now that you've actually raised, I like how we're talking about expressing these things to them, but do you realize you and I need to be whole women, balanced women, to be able to model these things?
Oh yeah.
So it means I need to have done my self-work. I need to have done my self-awareness, because I'll only be aware that I'm ignoring my kid if I'm intentional mentally want to be like, when I'm spending time with my children, I will put my phone down because I want to talk to my child eye to eye, right? So modeling comes from the root of self-awareness, from the root of self-healing, from the root of understanding what are the values that Koki is so keen on that she wants to instill on others. Because modeling is not just even downwards. It's also like you and I. I can model to you something and you feel like that's a character about her I would want to grow in. I can observe you and be like, there's something about her nature and her character and her being that I want to start to emulate. But it means for you as a woman, and for me as a woman, even for the men who would find this and watch it, know that you have to have fixed yourself. Fix your brokenness, fix your pain.
Oh my goodness.
Because like I know one of the things that I usually talk about, so my program, just to quickly plug in, guys, I'm not for the new plugs in, so I prepare ladies for marriage, right? And I believe because it comes from a point of, if I haven't fixed my brokenness from where I came from, then I'm taking that into my marriage, right? So like I usually say, my mom at some stage in our raising used to shout a lot. Now, I've been to people's homes who, I don't know if you're guilty, but anyway, there are those ladies pointing no fingers.
Oh my goodness.
There are those ladies who are constantly shouting at their kids, right? But that's because she has not learned how to balance her emotions. She's not learned how to separate. It was a tough work day. I leave my work at home, and when I come home, I'm a mother and I'm a wife, and I need to be the one to acknowledge I set the environment of my home, and because I set the environment of my home, I want a peaceful home. What does a peaceful home mean? I talk calmly to my children. I correct them, yes. We're not saying no spanking and all that. That will be done, but no one says you have to constantly raise your voice, right? So the self-awareness and the self-work is actually the root of modeling. If you're going to model a marriage, you and your husband must have a healthy marriage.
Oh, yes.
Right? For them to actually understand that marriage works, marriage is a beautiful thing. They have to watch you talking to each other. They have to watch your husband holding your hand, kissing you before he leaves.
My husband should watch.
You know? kissing him before he leaves, cooking for you, sometimes serving you.
Hey,
Because
honey,
then, do you,
hey.
do you realize that a girl will pick her father
Oh, yeah.
in husband or who she's going to marry?
Oh, yes.
But is it the positive or the negative that she's
Oh,
speaking?
my goodness.
Right?
Yeah.
So for the dads, if you want your daughter to have a good marriage, have you modeled good marriage to her through how you treat her mother?
Amazing.
You see that?
Yeah.
Because all these things, they are very subtle, because you won't sit and tell your child,
Sit here
love and
watch.
yeah. marriage is ABCD. No, they just watch you.
Yeah.
They watch you and they decide,
Yeah.
do you want a good marriage? And many of us, if we are honest enough with ourselves, we were not brought up in good marriages.
Oh, yeah.
That's our truth.
Yeah.
So we have to unlearn and then relearn. That's what I try and focus on in my program. Whatever it is that you observed, what were the things that even you as a child led to your own insecurity? And how do you unlearn that? And then you relearn it. Because then when you're modeling, you have to be so conscious and so aware, so intentional. I will never shout at my husband. I will never use negative words with my husband. I will serve my husband in a way that if my children watch, it's something they will do naturally. It won't be when you go to your husband's house,
Yes,
Susan, do you hear? You must cook for that man.
Yeah.
Then you're like, Mama, I never saw you cooking.
Oh, yeah.
What are you
Oh,
saying?
my
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these things have to be so organic in you that with the person who's observing, some things they won't even admire, but they'll just come naturally. I have a friend who the other day sent me a video of her son, and he was washing dishes. He had music on, Christian music on his phone, and he was singing as he's doing it. So she's like, oh, how sweet, look at this. They're like, chick, do you know you do the exact same thing? She has even modeled the home environment. Because he knows when mom is in the kitchen doing something, she plays her music and she sings along. So it comes very natural for the boy to want to do the same thing. She's never sat him down and told him it's good to, your environment must be filled with the spirits when you're doing work. No.
Yeah.
It's his natural, it's his norm. Chances are when he starts driving, he'll playing gospel music in the car. Because it's a lot of things that they are, when they say kids are sponges, we don't even know what it is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And you have raised something that is very personal to me, self-awareness. And in my journey, I walk a lot with people that have been through separation and divorce, or separation or divorce, moms who are parenting alone. And sometimes, not all of them, but sometimes when you look at the background, they were raised in dysfunctional families, dysfunctional homes. And especially in cases of abuse, sometimes women feel like, oh, I can't leave. How will I raise my children? Meanwhile, you're doing more harm to those children by remaining in that. And there's a friend of mine who told me one time, the son asked me, Mom, why do you allow dad to treat you like this? Because they have observed they are tired. Ooh. Oh, yes.
Your child calling you out.
Yes. Because you said you have to be self-aware. That's the foundation.
Yes.
But sometimes when someone feels like, I don't know how to get out of this mess, you'll be modeling, if it is marriage or parenting or whatever space you're in, even to the children you think you are protecting.
Yes.
And so this boy may grow up knowing, it's okay to hit a woman. When she doesn't hear, you can slap her and put her in order.
That's
true.
You
saw that happening. Then a girl might think, oh, by the way, it's okay. I even saw my mom being battered. So I think it's what happens to women. Now that is negative modeling, which probably as a parent you thought, I don't want to leave because how will I raise my children? Meanwhile, you are inculcating them in this environment of abuse that now will affect their lives later. So what you said about being spongy, oh my God, they take in more than we can even imagine. When you said about shouting, the reason why I laughed is because when you have not pursued healing, I have been a single mom, so I know. When you're parenting alone, sometimes you have pressures from work, maybe you're even healing from that separation and all that. So when that child asks you something, and maybe you look at them and they look like the father, you spark out, Those
are called wounds.
So the trigger can be your own child right here. Meanwhile, this child,
not even their fault.
Meanwhile, this child is very innocent. They have no business in what happened. So, and probably I was just coming to you with I'm just being a child. And so that was very important, very crucial. You have to find your healing. And we're also raising children that will tell you, Mom, you don't have to shout.
Oh yeah.
And with them, they will come
Oh,
with
yeah.
a low tone.
Condescending is that? These young ones.
Mom, you don't have to shout. You don't have to
Yeah.
shout, Mom. I
Yeah.
could have just had. Yeah, so it's such an amazing way even to raise our children, for the society to be
Yeah.
aware that wherever we are, people are watching us. Yeah. So maybe a final one from you, Koki, as we round up.
Wow. Guys, like the impact is so big. A lot of I'll make this a self-challenge. Let me give it a twist. Observe your life. Think through your day to day. Think about how you do the things that you do. And then begin to see what is the positive modeling you've received from your home and what's the negative modeling you receive from your home. Because the challenge for you now becomes, what do I need to unlearn? And then what do I relearn? Because before we model, like we said, it starts with me. So if there are habits that I've picked up that are not healthy for me as a person, then I would want to unlearn them. And because sometimes you find that you carry guilt for something that's not even your fault. You know that. It's just the way you are raised. It's what you know as your norm. But if you begin to be like sometimes you can say, I'm really hard on myself. Why am I constantly hard on myself? I need to undo that, and I'll extend more grace. I'll be kinder to Koki. Then I speak more gently to myself. I mean, sometimes I even tell myself, bas, Koki, bas.
That is the next level.
Yeah. And then now, I said, now, what do I need to relearn? So I think, yeah, that's my challenge.
Amazing. So I believe that you have picked some lessons. And I believe that as you have been engaging, you have also taken time, as my friend Koki says, to do a self-evaluation. You know, wherever you are, the story does not end there. You know, you can rewrite your story. Probably that is how you were raised. Probably that is what was modeled to you. But now you have a chance to model afresh. I always say that I would not want to imagine that in 15 years to come, that my children will sit in a therapist office because of mother wounds, with me being the mother. No, I am not in that category. So please, find your healing. Work in self-awareness and make sure you model what you want to see for the benefit of your children, the society. People are watching, you know. And as much as we really don't live saying, oh, I don't care what people think about me, make sure you're on the right track. Yeah, model what is right. Even as a child of God, you know, as a woman, people are looking up to. As a man, your sons are looking up to you, our fellow brothers. So model the picture and what you want, so that will be something that the children can imitate, that the society can imitate and learn from you. So I hope you have learned. I hope you have been empowered. I hope you have been impacted. And so I leave you with a challenge to to share this video with someone who you feel will also be blessed. Also subscribe if you have not subscribed, and let us push this word out there, because modeling of behavior, whether it's in the church, the home, in school, is our responsibility. It is your personal responsibility. And I'm talking to myself as well. As a mother, as a woman of God, as a friend, as a sister, I have to model what I want people to pick up. So God bless you. May God do you well. Until next time, God bless you. Thank you for the support.